Hey guys, I'm going to take a couple minutes to quick share with you some things that have been on my mind because I've had some of you asking, and that is how to deal with objections, how to deal with excuses and reasons people give for not wanting to take the product, saying they're too expensive, not wanting to continue on when things don't seem to be working like they're expecting or whatever. Objections in general. So, the first thing I want to address, though, before I go into maybe some practical ideas for how to troubleshoot with people, is your attitude. You know, how you are responding, how you are coming across to them. It is so important to be confident and to be excited for them in spite of their objections. Of course, there are ways you can kind of block some of these objections before they even bring them up. And that, again, will depend so much on your attitude. A lot of people don't even get as many objections as others, and I've observed this, and that is because of the way you come across in the first place. The way you present Plexus is going to block objections so people won't even think of them. And some of that is just your excitement, your enthusiasm, and your passion for them. Not for you alone and what you're doing with the business and your passion for the products, although that's important too, but for them. So if you're contacting somebody and you're in touch with them about trying the products, you need to be excited for them and the possibilities that they can expect, and be sharing plenty of examples and testimonies with them to build that belief and confidence in them. And so that's going to block objections. But when some of them do come up, there are things you can say. There's a few practical things that can help, but remember, it's going to come back to how you come across and the attitude that you have towards the objections. So one of those things that can really make a difference for one objection like price is to make sure that they understand when it comes to natural health supplements, Plexus is so not expensive. Like I always say, well, that's not even accurate to call Plexus expensive, because in terms of natural products and what this does compared to many others. For instance, I was taking products that cost me more per month that weren't doing me any good, not as much good as the Plexus products are. So there's not even any comparison that way. Sometimes people genuinely just aren't able to come up with that much cash or something. That's fine. It can be in their timing later, you know. If you want to, of course, mention the wholesale opportunity and how they can earn their product for free, that's an awesome time to do that. Another thing that sometimes people ask me about is how to address it with people when they say they don't like the Slim. Well, the first thing I say is, oh, that's interesting. I rarely hear that. Most people think it's delicious. But one thing you can try doing is, if their complaint is that it's too sweet, is to add a little lemon or lime juice. If they just don't like the flavor, just tell them to mix it in less water and get it over with. Mix it in 6 ounces, and in a few gulps it can be down, and at least they're getting something good in them. And if they just give it time, so many people eventually learn to like it. I've had people come back and say, this isn't so bad after all, like, you know, even after a week of being on it, because their body recognizes it's something good, and you learn to like it and even sort of crave it. So reassure them, be excited for them, like, oh, that's not a big deal. People the few people that have struggled with that, here's what they have done, and so you could try it too. Customers who want to quit. First of all, I don't get too stressed when they say they're going to quit and try and get their 60-day money-back guarantee, because more of mine have come back after that saying, hey, I need to try that stuff longer, or I need to get back on that because it was helping me more than I realized. More do that than don't. And so I just kind of smile when they say they're going to quit, because I know I'm probably be seeing them back. And then the other thing is you can troubleshoot with them, and it really can. And you can do it in a way like, well, you know what? Once in a while I've heard of somebody dealing with that. Like if they say there's a certain issue that the reason they want to quit, other than not getting weight loss, something like bloating. For instance, I recently was asked about that. Someone after a month of Slim was having some bloating, and they just want to quit because they just think it's not going to work for them. Well, it turns out when I find out more information, this person has digestive issues. Well, obviously, they're having toxin buildup that's not being cleansed out, and they need the BioCleanse. And so you need to tell people, hey, this is a good sign. When people experience adverse things after the products, the first thing I say to them is, well, that's neat. That's a good sign that the body's trying to balance and trying to possibly detox or whatever. That's a good thing. You're on the right path, and you'll get past this if you stick it out and take the products that I'm going to recommend to you to deal with those issues. So much of it, guys, are you catching on, is about your attitude, what you present to them, how you present to them, and what you say to them. You can be excited for them, be like, oh, well, that's not a big deal, because here's how we take care of it. And then, of course, just like I said, be excited for them. Build that belief in them that they don't have, and it's worth it. It's worth the effort. It does take effort. It takes pulling out of our own energy to breathe it into them or whatever, because they don't have it. And it does take effort, but it's so worth it, and they'll thank you in the end. So go out there and face those objections with confidence.